What's going on, everybody? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about former Vice President Mike Pence being heckled and called a traitor during the Faith and Freedom Coalition Summit. And we're going to talk about this because I think it's pretty funny. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm just going to give my opinion, so we're going to read this article, and then I'll play the clip, and then we will talk about it. So let's just jump right into it. Hecklers call Mike Pence a traitor during conference. Former Vice President Mike Pence was heckled by attendees at a conservative conference Friday, according to The Hill. Pence was speaking at the Faith and Freedom Coalition Summit, which allows conservative activists to join together to lay the foundation to win the majority in the 2022 midterm elections, according to the press release from the organization. He said, where did it go? It's great to be back with so many patriots dedicated to faith and freedom and the road to the majority, Pence said before hecklers in the crowd began shouting traitor. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order, and I am honored to stand before you today. He continued. The calls of traitor grew louder as Pence tried to continue his speech. And again, I'll play the clip here in just a moment. The former vice president finished his speech as some of the hecklers were reportedly escorted out, according to The Hill. In early June, Pence spoke at the event in Hillsborough County, New Hampshire, acknowledging that he has spoken with former President Donald Trump since the January 6th issue at the Capitol. President Trump and I have spoken many times since we left office, and I don't know if we'll ever see eye to eye on that day, but I will always be proud of what we accomplished for the American people over the last 4 years, he said, according to The Hill. Former President Trump told Fox News correspondent Mike Meredith he would make a decision about whether to run for 2024 presidential election and didn't rule out considering Pence as his running mate. I was disappointed with Mike on one thing, as he understands and some other people understand, but overall I had a very good relationship with Mike, and he's a very fine person and a fine man, and Mike and I have a good relationship. We continue to have a good, but it's too early to be discussing running mates, certainly, Trump concluded. So my take on this is, well, first of all, we'll listen to it. Here's the audio right here.
It is great to be back with so many patriots dedicated to faith and freedom and the road to the majority. And I want to thank my friend Ralph Reed for those overly generous words. I'm deeply humbled by them. Ralph Reed knows me well enough to know the introduction I prefer is a little bit shorter. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order, and I am honored to stand before you today.
So there you have it right there. Obviously, the loud heckling continued. Now, how do I feel about this? Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Mike Pence. I'm not going to get too far down into the weeds of this particular situation, but ultimately, Mike Pence has given the impression that he's not really all in to support Donald Trump, and he's not all in to, do what needs to be done. That's the impression that he's given a lot of people. And when there's so many problems going on in our country because the left-wing lunatics and the Democrats have proven that there's no line they won't cross, well, then, ultimately, when are we going to play fire with fire? When are we going to fight fire with fire? That's essentially what a lot of people are looking at and going, we can't win if we're not going to, go to the same extremes as they are, because they are willing to do anything and everything. That's just people's perceptions. And, a lot of people are frustrated with Mike Pence and a lot of the things that he has done in certain ways he's carried himself. Obviously, a lot of people are going to side with Donald Trump. I'm one of those people. I will continue to side with Donald Trump. I think that Mike Pence was a good vice president for the most part, but ultimately when things were the toughest, he seemed to not really be fully committed, whereas you see someone like a Ron DeSantis, who, in my opinion, is far more committed to battling the left-wing lunatics with their own logic and not really compromising at all. Because being politically correct, it's really not something that's going to win against the far left-wing people and the Democrats. There's no line they won't cross. So when you're talking about, bringing back the majority in 2022, a lot of people are just going to look at that and just think you don't really have what it takes to stay committed and stay the course. You know, Donald Trump, to me, in my opinion, it seems like Donald Trump is really being as strategic as possible and how he is building everything up to 2022 and then eventually to 2024. That's my opinion on how it looks like he's building things up. It looks like he's being very strategic, and it looks like he is building a very strong infrastructure. I think that Trump was a fantastic president, as I've said multiple times. Do I think that there were some things he could have done better? Absolutely. But I also understand that the deck was so stacked against him in such a corrupt world as politics that there was only so much he was going to be able to do in a short amount of time. And I think he did a fantastic job of doing that. And ultimately, you know, they hated him so bad. The media hated him so bad. And they misrepresented so many things from him that eventually, you know, the deck was just so stacked against him. And yeah, he might have connected to people that weren't fully committed to his ideology and the things he wanted to accomplish. But I think if you just look at the disgusting landscape of politics, I'm not sure that it was ever going to be something he was going to be able to accomplish in 4 years. Maybe he's learned his lessons now. He probably should have been a lot more strict on social media and the ways that they are able to carry things out. Maybe he's learned that lesson now. There's probably some other things that he probably should have been a lot more firm on, and maybe he's learned his lesson. I believe he has learned his lesson from that, and I believe that he's making a strategic effort to build towards 2024, but it's going to take time. As far as Mike Pence goes, I just think that he has lost the support of too many people. And I don't think that they're going to have faith in him moving forward. I think there's zero chance that Mike Pence will be Donald Trump's running mate in 2024. I don't think there's a chance in hell that happens. I think too many people have lost faith in him, and today's press conference and the heckling is just another sign of that. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. I appreciate all the support here, support on all of our channels. We're doing a lot of cool things. We got a lot of cool stuff in the works, and the only way we're able to do that is because you guys continue to support us, and we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.